Hi, it's Donovan Delore from Long Foster Columbia again, and today I just want to talk about what realtors can offer to landlords who own investment properties. So if you own an investment property and you're ready to rent it out, using a realtor can definitely offer a lot of benefits. When it comes to finding a tenant, it pretty much works in the same way that finding a buyer will work for selling a home. If you do it yourself, if you try and rent the property out yourself, you'll be responsible for finding a tenant. You'll be responsible for making sure that tenant is financially able to rent your property out, and you'll also be responsible for making sure that tenant is in good character, that they'll be a good tenant to you, and you also have to have your lease written up somehow. But using a realtor can help ease a lot of these problems that arise when you try to rent your own property out. One of the problems that may occur is generally a landlord will not live in their own investment property, so if you have people that want to take a look at the property to rent, which will definitely happen if you try and rent your property out, you may be spending a lot of time showing those people the property and taking people through the property, and it may take months to finally find a tenant that is willing, able, and ready to rent the property. So ultimately what a realtor can do for an owner who is looking to rent an investment property out is they are getting the owner from having a vacant property with no rent revenue coming in to having an occupied property with rent revenue coming in for a specified lease period, and the comfort of knowing that the tenant is of good financial character and of good personal character, that they're going to be a good tenant for you. So the way a brokerage determines whether an individual will be a good fit financially and personally for your property will be through the application process. So a brokerage will have an application that any tenants that wish to apply to your property will have to fill out. And when the tenants fill out this application, the information that's given on the application will be sent to the brokerage. They will run various checks, such as a background check, a credit check. There will be a review of financial history as well. So essentially, when the brokerage collects this information, they will present it to you as the landlord, and you will ultimately make your decision as to whether you'd like to accept the current or the applicant as your current tenant or not. So at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide whether you will be accepting the tenant or not. The brokerage will be responsible for collecting all the information that you'll need to know about the tenant. So in addition to marketing your property and placing your property on the MLS and finding a tenant and then screening that tenant, brokerages such as us here at Long Foster also offer a property management service to any property owners or landlords. So if you're doing something such as leaving the country or going away for a while and you won't be able to manage the property that you own, that's where property management really comes in handy. Property management will take care of all that for you. Property management will also, if you decide to list a home and you want to use property management will also be writing the lease, and they'll be dealing directly with the tenants. So you will essentially be taken out of the equation for the most part. There's not too much for you to do when you use property management. So just to recap, for property owners who are wishing to rent out their investment properties, using a realtor will be able to get your property on the MLS. A realtor will be able to market your property. They'll be able to show your property. They'll also be able to screen any tenants that apply to your property. They'll be able to write the lease. And for property owners who are not going to be around to be able to manage their property, there's also property management options for landlords as well. So as I always say, I am a rental specialist myself. If you have any questions about renting your property out, please feel free to get in touch with me. I'd love to hear any questions you have, and I'd love to help. Thank you so much.